Hey everyone, happy Monday. It's almost time to pack your stuff and go back home after another day at the office or working from home. Today I will share with you a quick story to begin with and a useful how to keep track of your job applications with specific digital tools, and last but not least, my target roles. So let's begin with the story because last Saturday night I had the pleasure to meet the account executive for Atlassian. He is responsible for Trello, and it got me thinking, how did evolve my use of digital tools like Trello to manage my life and work projects? I'm about to take you through the evolution of my second brain, as Tiago Forte named it, and how I kept track of my job application so far. In this way, you will see as I share my screen. Everything started in 2018. I was introduced to the Agile methodology, and Trello was my go-to tool for task management with boards, lists, cards. It was quite revolutionary for me, and I use it for everything, from work projects, personal tasks, even for planning vacations. So it was my digital kanban board, and it helped me visualizing the workflow. And this, as you can see, is the way I was taking track of my week at the time. I went through some checklists that I was using while I was working as an inside sales for Uber Eats and so on. But from 2019 to 2023/2024, Notion became my second brain. And the reason why I choose it is because I decided to build my own template, my own databases, and of course pages with all the information that was for me important to keep track of. So I will show you here an example of my recruiting space that I built since 2021 until 2024, because it was the way I was keeping track, literally, of all the different open and closed opportunities on the job market. And this is the way I organize also my job search after the big layoff that I experienced in my first experience in the Netherlands. So I remember when I applied for this role as a recruiter for Tesla, and in this specific space I was collecting all the information from the first meeting to the business case presentation with the head of people and so on, because for me it was important to keep track of everything specifically to get this job, and I did it. So it was a success case, and I still remember the way I was carefully collecting all the information from the job description analysis through the different, of course, information about the company itself. Of course, we're talking about a very well-known company, but still for me it was important to keep track of everything. And of course, in this case it worked. But there is always a but. On Between 2024 and 2023 and 2024, I decided to change and to try a different way to keep track of my job applications. And with this tool that I'm going to show you now, Teal, created by David Fano, it was the right way to manage everything in one specific place, because this tool is laser focused on job tracking, cover letter enhancement, resume building, and so on. So super clean and efficient. That's why I'm going to show you here the pipe that I have, but also the previous role that I accepted in Fair Harbor. and this is of course an account executive role. Here the entire flow that of course start from the applying phase to the interviewing, and then the final offer that I accepted, with the entire job description with highlights and everything that could be useful, and of course matching with my CV, and of course the compensation always ready to be modified and so on. So that was a very useful tool that I am still using. And also here, as you can see, the checklist, it's very useful when you need to check the boxes in order to understand if you are doing the right things in the right step. So it's a very complete tool in my opinion. And of course in the home page you can still have an entire overview of what you're doing, and of course with numbers, with statistics, with your target salary range, and so on and so on. So this is something that I really advise you to keep an eye on, at least, or to try, because it's free. So at the end, I want to share again which is the way I was experiencing this life and work experience so far in the Netherlands. And in this article that you can also listen, you can double check the way I collect information, the way I manage the different links, sources, about, of course, what happened to me, layoff, applying to 30% tax ruling, everything regarding networking events, and so on and so on. Even the link to the previous business cases that I was able to, of course, realize, that you can take a look at. And finally, what are my thoughts? What are my, let's call it advices for the people out there that are looking for, a different point of view. So this is it. My target role is still account executive, but I'm also exploring account management or customer success roles based in Amsterdam, and I'm actively applying. So if you think I could be a good match for a role that is not on my radar, let's connect on LinkedIn to speed up the process and to collect a referral in this case. And thank you again for your attention.